Raiders, today we're taking a first look at Elite Data's brand new Type-11 Prospector. We'll break down every edition, show off its industrial design, field test exclusive new mining gun, and stick around to the end because I want your thoughts on a big question. Do we actually add lasers to this, or do you think that would actually hurt the efficiency of the Gatling gun? So to start off, we have the standard Type-11. This is going to come just in the industrial yellow appearance, however it does look pretty cool. And this thing is massive inside the hangars, it barely has enough room to fit. Now, if you're curious what hardpoints that this one actually comes with, this is going to be more of the bare bones model of all of them. So we'll head over and check out the outfitting. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is the first ship that's actually been a dedicated mining ship. So as you can see, there's some hardpoints that are physically labeled as mining hardpoint only. So you're not going to be able to put anything inside of these two hardpoints unless they're actually mining related. Same with the ones that have the small mining hardpoint labeled as well. And then we have some couple standard lasers on the bottom. For utility mounts, this is going to be left completely empty. Core internals, this is where it's going to differ quite a bit compared to some of the more premium editions. This is just going to come with a 6E power plant, 5E thrusters, 5E SCO drive, 3E life support, 7E power distro, 3E sensor, and the standard fuel tank. So basically, if you're just going to get the standard edition, you're going to need to replace every single component here. And also the cargo racks themselves, these are only size 5, so I do recommend getting rid of these and bumping up to size 6. And then probably moving to a smaller shield jet. You are going to notice that there's another dedicated slot for Mark II mining controller limpet. So if you head over to the multi-limpet controller, you're going to notice that it's actually pretty cool. So this is supposed to be a little bit more efficient, and it's going to have a max active limpets of 8 at a time. So it's going to be a lot more efficient than having the 3B operation controller, which is really cool. This is basically going to act as your collector and your prospector limpet. You could also bring a prospector, that way you can just focus on having 8 collectors from this one unit itself. And then one of the more controversial features of the ship, they do have an empty hangar compartment. So basically you're required to either have this slot empty or to include a vehicle hangar inside of your ship. The rest of them are going to be completely open when it comes to optional internals though. Like there's only one slot that's going to be hindering you and one slot that's going to give you an added bonus. Now, when it comes to the hardpoints, it's kind of ironic. This ship came with a whole new classification of mining lasers, but they don't actually have it pre-installed on this edition. So they have one called a mining volley repeater. This is a mining tool used to extract resources from asteroid surfaces, capable of extracting a higher yield per asteroid than a conventional mining laser. So today we're just going to simply head over to an asteroid, farm it up, and then we'll see what everyone's opinions are on what build we should go with. Because I'm not entirely sure if you should mix in mining lasers with this mining volley, or if the mining lasers would lower the amount of yield, because this is a different verbiage than what we've seen in the past. Like for example, the size 2 one, it just says mining tool used to extract resources from asteroid surface, function analysis mode. But it doesn't say anything at all about a higher yield. This is the only one with that. So I'm not sure if having more than just the mining volley would really hurt you. Next up on the list, we have the Stellar Edition. It's going to ditch the yellow and go with more of a red tint. It does look like it has a little bit more industrial cages around it. Overall, this is going to be what the old premium model was. Now, there's a huge difference when it comes to everything that's included inside of the outfitting, however. So to start off, you're going to come with the mining volley repeater, which we read about earlier. It does look really cool, I'll give it that. And then it's going to come with subsurface displacement missiles, seismic charge launchers, multi-cannon for defense, abrasion blasters to scrape the surface, and a few pulse lasers for defense. For utility mounts, they're going to come with a pulse wave analyzer, point defense turret, a heat sink launcher, and a shield booster. Now, when it comes to the core internals, this is where it's going to differentiate quite a bit. Instead of having E for a lot of components, now we're going to jump all the way up to grade A. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you're still going to be keeping a 3D life support, but that's going to be a little bit better for jump range anyways. But it will have 5A SCO, 5A thruster, 6A power plant, 7A power distro. So if you're used to using a size 7 power distributor, That's fantastic. You can literally carry it over to this new ship. You can have a 3D sensor. You might want to bump this up to 3A. And then for the optional internals, this is actually where they corrected a lot of the cargo mistakes. So instead of having a size 5 cargo rack, it's going to go up to 6E. You can squeeze out a little bit more storage if you swap some of these out for the pre-engineered cargo racks. We have the 5A mining limpet controller. It comes with the hangar bay pre-installed. We have a 4A shield gen, 3A refinery. It does have a fuel scoop inside of it. If you already are taking your mining ship to a location, I would probably drop the fuel scoop and maybe even take the 3A refinery and put that in the slot 2, and then have another slot for like the 3B operations controller, because that should allow us more limpets. We have a Prospector limpet for size 1A, detailed surface scanner, and the advanced planetary approach suite. So it has basically a little bit of everything. And for anyone curious, it does come with a fighter already installed. This is going to be their new premium model. It's going to have a really cool holographic around it. It's going to go with a more dark red theme to it. The holograms do move while you're in space as well. But overall, I think this design actually looks really cool. Alright, so what does this one have different compared to the previous edition that we just saw? Well, underneath outfitting, it's going to come with the same mining volley, subsurface seismic charge, multi-cannons, abrasion blasters. So it's going to literally be the same hardpoint layout. For utility mounts, it'll have the same things as before. For core internals, once again, it's going to be going with the exact same components. Now, for me personally, I think maybe if they were able to tweak just some stuff, it might be a little bit better to give us some more headway. So currently we are using 24.98 megawatts of power with this default build that they laid out. I think with this addition, it'd be nice if maybe they were able to do like a pre-engineered power plant or something to be able to give us like a little bit more breathing room, because that's not really much power differentiates between the two when you're deployed. Then for optional internals, we're going to be going with the 6E cargo racks, the 5E in the correct slots, the multi-limpet, the fighter bay, the 4A shield gen. We are going to use this exact build for today's video. And then tomorrow, if anyone wants to offer in some suggestions on what we should add to our ship to try to change it to make it better, put it down in the description down below. We'll go fly around, grab up all those upgrades, and try out each of your builds. That way you can see how well it's actually going to work in real time. Now some of you might be wondering, well, with the default build, what is the total storage? Well, currently the total storage amount is 256, so it's going to come in a little bit more than a Python. It does have the unique mining slot. I don't think there's too many ships that have the size 3 area. However, since it's not going to be a restricted slot, I would have to assume that you can put this on any ship that has a size 3 hardpoint. So before we fly off, let's see if this actually works on anything or if it's only this ship. Alright, so currently we swapped to the Panther Clipper Mark II because I'm curious to see if this new mining laser is going to fit on any ship. It does have a couple size 3 spots. And also, we're going to have to figure out like what the difference in heat-wise is with these new turrets compared to the previous ones. But you are going to notice one interesting thing. It's actually completely hidden from this area. So if you want the new Gatling gun, you're going to have to be using the Type-11. You're not going to be able to put it on any ship you want. Now, usually when we're laser mining, we use more than one laser. Like I said, though, this time around, it's going to be a little bit different. So it says specifically that this one gives us a higher yield. I wanted to see what it could actually do by itself before we actually try the other methods. Oh, that thing sounds so cool. Hold on, let's get a close-up of this thing in action. What? Alright, now heat-wise, how are we actually doing? We hardly have any heat. So far, we've mined out about 90% of it. Now, visual appearance-wise, it does appear to be larger chunks than normal. So of this 31% asteroid, I'm curious to see like how much we're actually going to get when it comes to platinum. So we're going to mine up exactly the max amount and see what we actually end up with. Personally though, it does seem to take a little bit to like fully harvest the rock, so I believe introducing a few size 2 lasers probably would help this thing out quite a bit. It sounds really cool though, and it looks really cool. I'm not sure if it's just the cockpit view or if it's just that this ship actually does get larger chunks, but it did appear to be a little bit different than normal. Now, for anyone wanting to see the inside interior, actually does is a pretty nice cockpit. Looks nice and industrial. Oh man, imagine just looking outside the window there and see that ginormous Gatling gun. And for anyone curious, it is completely possible to use this Gatling gun by itself without having any like huge issues when it comes to overheating. Alright guys, well that is going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, and let me know if you're excited for the Type-11. If you have any suggestions for the build we're showcasing tomorrow, please be sure to leave them down in the comments down below. We'll also be posting it on Reddit, that way people can give their opinion on what we should actually be doing to it. I feel like doing weapon focus and adding in a couple size 2 lasers won't hurt too much. Although it does say it'll give a little bit lower yield, it takes a while to crack open the rock with the Gatling gun by itself. So I think getting in a little bit of extra help won't hurt too much. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys think of this ship. Are you excited for it? It is coming out in the ARC store on September 23rd for anyone who's curious about when it's going to hit the stores. But I'll see you guys in the next one, Commanders, and let me know which edition you also are thinking about getting. Is it going to be the Standard? Is it going to be the Stellar? Or is it going to be this new super cool Galactic Edition with the holograms moving all around your ship?